Some of you know by now that the United States, according to CBS News, the United States launched strike on 3 Iranian nuclear facilities. Not on the people there, but the nuclear facilities. President Trump announced on Saturday evening, calling them a spectacular military success. Watch this from our NBC News.
Tonight, the new video, B-2 bombers returning to their Missouri base after those secretive strikes. And now our first look at the targets they hit inside Iran. These before and after images show the massive impact of the U.S. attack on Isfahan, one of 3 Iranian nuclear facilities hit.
Initial battle damage assessments indicate that all 3 sites sustained extremely severe damage and destruction.
The commander-in-chief with this declaration overnight.
I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated.
Amazing. Amazing. This could not have happened, according to the president, in such a spectacular way had anybody else been president in America. Really? What manner of man is this? The world obeys him. This man is so amazing, Donald Trump, that they call him king. And around the country of America, at least, they celebrated King's Day. But some were yelling, I don't want the king, but they were still, long live the king. The U.S. is now prepared for Iranian retaliation. Watch this from NBC News again.
Pentagon officials say it's too soon to tell, but tonight the U.S. is also preparing for potential Iranian retaliation, though the Trump administration emphasizes the attack was intended as a limited one-time strike.
We're not at war with Iran. We're at war with Iran's nuclear program.
President Trump inside the Situation Room with Vice President Vance, his Secretaries of State and Defense, as well as Chief of Staff Susie Wiles and Joint Chiefs Chairman Dan Kane. The president issuing this warning to the Iranian regime.
Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace. If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier. For 40 years, Iran has been saying death to America, death to Israel. They have been killing our people. I decided a long time ago that I would not let this happen.
Amazing. It's amazing how strong Marco and the other guys and the women who are under Trump, they look strong because Trump is strong. It's amazing. I remember when the fallen Messiah, Barack Obama, was in there, and Joe Biden, his administration looked weak. I remember they had this black guy by the name of Lord something as the military head or something. It was weak and pathetic and a mess. They were letting in unqualified people, drag queens, and everything. Lord Austin, remember him? The military was disgusting. And they show people, they show females in the military on video dancing and butt dancing and whatever they do that stuff. It was a mess. And here's Lord in his mask, the guy with a big old mask on his face. Look at that. Look like a black president from Africa. That's him. And that was over the military. And it was ghetto. I told you they turned everything into ghetto. But no. And now that Pete and this president is over the military, it's being reported that they have more enlistment in the military, men register for the military than they have had in years. Enlistments. That's how you say it? Enlistments. And because Trump is there. Here is some detail on the complex bombing operation in Iran.
A historic U.S. military operation, complex and choreographed. The nuclear sites targeted, Natanz, Isfahan, and Fordo, buried deep beneath an Iranian mountain. The U.S. adding the element of surprise, with the president giving the final green light 48 hours after announcing he would take up to 2 weeks to decide whether to strike.
Just a time to see whether or not people come to their senses.
First, the apparent decoys. On Saturday morning, B-2 stealth bombers launching from Missouri flying west. Hours before the B-2s used in the actual strikes headed east. The U.S. deploying 14 30,000-pound bunker-busting bombs for the first time in a military operation. In this satellite image of Fordo, if you zoom in, you can see several holes from the bunker-busting bombs, which explode underground. The B-2s also dropping them on Natanz.
They dropped 30,000-pound bombs on a target the size of a washing machine.
U.S. submarines firing Tomahawk missiles to hit the Isfahan site. In all, 125 U.S. warplanes and 75 precision-guided munitions used. And the Pentagon says Iran never fired a single shot.
Amazing. It's amazing. And so Pete Hegseth praised Trump on the strike, and Marco Rubio said the threat was urgent.
This operation underscores the unmatched capabilities and global reach of the United States military.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth pinning the praise on President Trump.
Many presidents have dreamed of delivering the final blow to Iran's nuclear program, and none could until President Trump.
And after Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard in March said Iran had an unprecedented amount of enriched uranium for a non-nuclear state, but that the Ayatollah had not ordered the development of a nuclear weapon, Secretary of State Marco Rubio argued the Iranian threat was urgent.
It doesn't matter if the order was given. They have everything they need to build nuclear weapons.
Amazing. What are you thinking today about the president protecting you?